The China Syndrome. Written by Hayden Gill, read by Adam B. Levine. Part 1. Practicing quiet diplomacy and winning mainland acceptance of Bitcoin. The China question is a rhetorical issue of political, military, and economic force. Its amorphous nature changing from a matter of Cold War bellicosity to diplomatic engagement, converting yet again into White House summits and cultural exchanges, followed by massive investments and mutual bonds of financial interdependency, climaxed by strategic competition. It is this situation, nearly 3/4 of a century of revolution and upheaval, of 5-year plans and great leaps forward, of famine, rapid industrialization, and demands for personal liberty. It's this whirlwind of change, from communist power to capitalist excitement, that makes China's leaders pine for the sacredness of stability. To my fellow supporters of Bitcoin, these events are a primer about modern Chinese history and the necessity for quiet diplomacy. Thus, we should view the People's Bank of China restrictions about the use of Bitcoin as an opportunity to assuage the concerns of mainland financial institutions and members of the Communist Party of China. We, as users, merchants, and champions of this alternative currency, need to transition our actions and temper our language without diluting our message, so Bitcoin can flourish alongside the renminbi and yuan. We must practice the art of politics as education, enabling China's leaders to take credit for embracing Bitcoin while reassuring mainland officials that this currency will not replace the renminbi. For the quiet diplomacy I propose is an acknowledgement of reality, as well as an understanding of the symbolism of a nation's paper money. Imprinted on every renminbi, dollar, euro, peso, and yen, upon this collection of cotton and lint in hues of red, green, and yellow, which bear the images of premiers, presidents, and prime ministers, imprinted on fiat money is a statement of nationalism. That we, the People's Republic of China, are great actors on the economic stage. In other words, don't threaten the stability of the mainland or disrespect her projection across Asia and the Pacific Rim. Achieving this goal starts with the kind of quiet diplomacy we can practice through social media, where we modify our language from utopian prophecies to pragmatic communications. Indeed, the Bitcoin community needs to have its own version of the 3 joint communiques, a collective, albeit less official, series of statements from top investors, miners, and merchants, that this alternative currency is a welcome asset for the People's Bank of China, both as a means of profit and as a hedge against inflation. The promise of adding revenue and a treasury awash in more tax dollars, thanks to the acceptance and use of bitcoins, is a boon for the mainland and an attractive addition to China's sovereign wealth funds. Part 2. Preserving stability and easing acceptance of bitcoins. 1 country, 2 systems. The best examples of success of quiet diplomacy regarding Bitcoin is the one between Hong Kong and the mainland. Within the former, with its own political system, independent judiciary, and currency, there are also Bitcoin ATM machines, one of which processed $1 million in transactions last month. The placement of more of these machines, as well as the frequency by which residents and travelers in Hong Kong use these ATMs, confirms 2 important points. The first is about political and economic freedom, while the other is a matter of common sense. Given the level of concern about stability from mainland officials, there is a flip side to Bitcoins. There's no such thing as a little bit of freedom. It's not self-contained and it's not controllable, and whatever you release here will reverberate beyond the expansive skyline and harbors of Hong Kong. Neither the altitude of Victoria Peak nor the high-rises of Kowloon Peninsula can enclose an idea, invisible in its presence and viral in its dissemination. Time and time alone will soften the mainland's resistance to the use of bitcoins. Events can, however, accelerate time, provided the inevitable is not a synonym for unavoidable chaos. Freedom and liberty have their own constraints by law and by custom, but they garner acceptance as an issue of common sense. Let us therefore do our duty and educate mainland merchants and bankers about the mutually beneficial relationship between bitcoins and the renminbi. With humility and resolution, let us practice the quiet diplomacy the mainland deserves, and her citizens expect to receive. We can mute our trumpets without silencing our triumphal spirits, because we can and should defer to the needs of the People's Bank of China, while educating her leaders and guiding her members towards a source of progress and wealth. Those actions also signify the evolution of the Bitcoin community, from outliers on the fringe to occupants of mainstream credibility. With the arrival of that milestone, we can rejoice in the Chinese proverb about beauty, creating harmony in the home so there may be order in the nation, and from that order, there may be peace in the world. Let us cherish that adage.
Would you like to buy Bitcoin? Cash into Coins provides the fastest, easiest, and safest way to buy Bitcoin in the United States. Simply place an order online, deposit cash at any supported bank, and relax. Cash into Coins will verify your deposit and send out your Bitcoin within 24 hours. Join tens of thousands of people who have purchased from Cash into Coins. What are you waiting for? Buy your Bitcoin today. Go to cashintocoins.com. That's cashintocoins.com.